exercises down, 15 more to go. I hope you're already seeing a change and the difference it makes when you talk about these things to each other. This video lesson is called Organize Your Time Together. Do you and your spouse go to bed together in the evenings? Do you do this every evening? What about in the mornings? Do you get up together? Now, this is where many problems in marriages and relationships start. It's such a simple thing as going to bed together or getting up together. One of you may be working late, finishing work for the office, and your partner is lonely and goes to bed. It's an old and well-known situation. So what can you do about it? Simple. Go to bed together. Get up together. I know it can be difficult to achieve. So far, these exercises haven't been that easy. But many marriages have worked without following this principle. I get it. But the concept of marriage is one thing, but a deep, loving, successful marriage, that is different. That's all about sharing, honesty, and spending time together. Now, I get it. You also need time apart. You need space. And I'm going to cover that in a later lesson. But in this chapter, in this lesson, I'm concerned with you as a couple becoming closer and establishing a deep, intimate relationship, which will grow stronger and stronger every day. And in order to achieve a closeness, you need to spend time together and communicate meaningfully. One way of achieving this, because we're covering lots of exercises, is to rise or go to bed together and have your meals together, such as breakfast and dinner. It is something you really need to work on. And for many couples, yes, I get it, it's difficult to do. Do me a favor, try not to fall into the trap of assuming, okay, we've watched this lesson, but at the moment, this is impossible due to different work schedules. If you do this, you will never accomplish anything. However, if you make a concerted effort by scheduling your time together and work at it now, everything is going to fall into place. Let me ask you a question. When is the last time you made love to your spouse on a weekday morning or any morning? I know some of you will be saying, yes, but we don't have the time. Well, then make the time. This is your marriage, your relationship. Get up an hour earlier in the morning. Spend this time together before, during, or after you have made love. One morning you make breakfast and the next morning your partner prepares it. Or both of you do it together. Spend time watching each other and talking to each other over your meals. Although stereotypically the men seem to be at fault for my next point, women also tend to be culprits of this too. Please don't read the newspaper at the breakfast table while your spouse looks around for attention. Read the newspaper in the train on the way to work. Try, and you are going to find lots of other opportunities to read that damn newspaper, and it's all negative anyway. However, if you both need to read the newspaper in the mornings, then do so together, and you can share each other's viewpoints on certain news articles, topics, and discuss them over breakfast. The emphasis here is doing stuff together. You need to get to know your spouse better so that you can understand the way he or she thinks and feels about certain issues like work, you, politics, religion, whatever. And you see, by living past one another, this doesn't happen and distance is created. Now, of course, I know what some of you are thinking, but what about the kids? They keep us too busy in the mornings. We just don't have the time for each other at that time of the day. I've already given you the answer. By getting up an hour earlier, or initially only half an hour to begin with, this is the time for the two of you to be alone. Perhaps you are in a position where you feel that with your work schedule, you haven't got an extra hour and need all the sleep you can get. In this case, I ask you to consider one thing. Is your work more important than your marriage? Think about it seriously and make that extra time. Even if you only start with 10 minutes and eventually aim to make it an hour. Now on that note, if you are both working, how about trying to plan a lunch together? Even if it is only once or twice a week, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in a restaurant and cost money. It can be something affordable, like a quick hot dog from a vendor on the side of the street. Even just sharing your packed sandwich luncheon together on a park bench is more than adequate. Again, on each occasion that you do this, you alternate who prepares the luncheon or who buys the luncheon. Surprise each other. Share soft serve ice cream together for a dessert. Be romantic. Here's a novel idea. How about printing up business cards or an invitation on your computer, kind of similar to a doctor's or dentist's appointment card, and give this to your spouse with the wording such as, your next appointment with your, and you put the name of your spouse there, is on, of course, the date and the time. The activities will begin with a walk in the park, followed by a lunch, and will conclude with a kiss. No cancellations or rescheduling allowed. Suitable attire should be worn. Think about that. How cool is that? On weekends, many couples end up as follows. And the following is an example and very stereotypical. But it does bring the point across. The wife does some housework and the husband watches sport on TV while the children are playing computer games on their own. Where is the family cohesiveness and intimacy here? And the frightening fact is so many people have fallen into this type of rut. If you're going to do house chores over the weekend, don't leave them to your spouse, do them together. Why not also involve the children? And on that note, here's some romantic fun ideas to make the housework more fun. Print out, seeing that you're on the computer already, coupons that you give to your spouse for things he did around the house. They can be individual slips of paper which have breakfast in bed, romantic bubble bath, ultimate bubble bath, dinner, whatever printed on them. A great example, if you've just changed the oil in your wife's car, send her a bill, invoice for oil change. 3 pints of oil, that's 3 kisses. Oil filter, 1 hug. 4 spark plugs, 12 kisses. Total 16 kisses. No checks accepted. Special rate for clients who sleep with a mechanic. Ladies, in the same vein, you can supply a bill as well. Invoice for dinner. Salad, 2 kisses. Main course, 6 kisses. Dessert, 2 kisses. Total amount, 10 kisses. Tipping is encouraged. And take advantage of our frequent dining program. Think of the famous Chinese saying, more hands make light work. If all of you pitch in together, the job will get done sooner and there will be more time available for more important issues. Again, with your husband helping the wife cleaning the house, you are sharing an activity together and spending time together doing it. This is all part of growing closer, communicating and learning about each other. Maybe your wife doesn't mind the washing but hates the ironing. Then you should do the ironing or vice versa. If you as a husband hate household chores, then mow the lawn, wash the car. But by doing this together over a weekend, you accomplish 2 things. Firstly, you're sharing the chores, thus spending time together. And secondly, you'll be finished sooner and thus have more time for pleasurable things. Makes sense. Such as, well, come on, making love, playing a game, going for a walk, or simply just talking. They do say marriage is a 50-50 institution. And the equilibrium can lose its balance. And when that happens, so the marriage loses its balance. If you have a chore, then you have no reason whatsoever not to spend time together meaningfully. So instead of planning to go out and watch the tennis every weekend, keep one day aside and just spend that time together, where you each, again on an alternating basis, decide what you are going to do together. But it must be a day where only the 2 of you spend time together, even if it is only for a few hours. Let the children go and spend time with friends. And the next time, let their friends come to you so their parents can apply these lessons as well. Once again, don't leave it to chance for this to happen. You need to mark your calendar and plan these days. I know it sounds clinical and somehow unromantic at first, but think about it. Are you doing this at the moment, right now, in the present? Probably not. So there's only one way to start. Plan it. Once you are in the swing of having your special day, and it need not necessarily be on weekends, then you start becoming spontaneous about it. But for now, you're going to have to schedule these days. And as an inspirational speaker, I often use an example when explaining to delegates the reason why people do not achieve success in life. I ask them, if you've not achieved your dreams and goals and have always done everything in life a certain way, don't you agree that by continuing to do what you've always done, nothing's going to change? So you have to change your behavior. A couple are having a chat after work, and the husband says to his wife, at work today, we had a speaker talk to us about the differences between men and women. And he said that women use twice as many words in their day as the men do. The wife replied, that's because we have to repeat everything we say to our husbands. To which the husband queried, what? And on that note, work this out, make that special time together, enjoy the exercise, and as soon as you've done this, I'll see you in the next lesson.